Peace and grace, Kingdom family. What's going on? It's Darius Dior here. You know where we at. You know what it is. You know what we doing. I got a very special guest in the building, man. Y'all know who it is. It's Cree the Creative. Make some noise for Cree the Creative. She is back once again. Cree, what's going on with you, yo?
What's going on? What's going on?
Man, you doing all right? You know what I'm saying? How you been?
Hey man, I'm going through a rebirth.
You going through a rebirth?
So when you go through a rebirth, it's when you think about giving birth, you know, it's like, damn, this shit painful as hell. But then when you see that beautiful baby, you're like, I did that. Okay. So that's really where I'm at, like in a place of like starting everything fresh, trying to have new perspectives, trying to get into some new things, and also like just, you know what I'm saying? Just live.
Yeah. It's incredibly important for me to have you on this platform because you've become a staple in this community to me. You know, in terms of just the creative community in Columbia, especially when it comes to artists and entrepreneurs. You know, like you ain't about to try to get no job. Like you don't want no job, Cree.
I really don't.
Cree.
It's like I'm looking for one.
You don't want no job.
We keep telling ourselves, I need a job for stability. But then when I think about it, I be like, man, I need flexibility. And if the jobs are not offering that, and if they not gonna value what I have to bring, then it's like, well, I just get it on my own.
You're gonna get it out the mud.
I get it out the mud.
Yo, that's an interesting perspective to have because it requires a certain level of faith and belief in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Faith.
Like, you live in America, man. Like I'm a whole business owner and I got a job. You know what I'm saying? I transitioned in between, trying to figure out what it was like for 4 months. It's hard. It's hard. I had to choose between not having a life and constantly 24/7 calculating my next dollar, or get a job, have some balance, know where my next dollar's coming from, and let every other dollar just be extra, right?
Right.
So, you know, because I run a profitable business. Like I was profitable first year, profitable second year. In my third year, I'm still profitable.
Right.
And I could probably sustain my life doing this, right? But it's so many ups and downs in my business. Revenue margin is so close to the floor. I would literally have to work 12 hours a day, sometimes 15 hours a day.
Yes, nobody talks about that. You got all these people online, get your own business. You need to get your own. But they don't talk about that because sometimes a lot of business owners, especially ones that I talk to, they're right at that point where I'm like, man, I will have to work all day because I'm making the money in the sales, but I'm not at the place to hire somebody to help me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's easier. And I ain't gonna say it's easier, but you're like, you know what? I need that stable check coming in. Let me build from the side and faith it out. But we already know that's gonna take a lot from you.
That's gonna take a lot.
You know what I mean? And me personally, I like to talk about this because not a lot of people are open, but I'm a woman with what we call dynamic disabilities, like different chronic health conditions that are disabling. And I know people look at me like, what, disability? But like, that means that my life is different.
I'm people looking at you like, what disability?
What disability?
Miss.
Oh, so I can go down the list.
Educate me then.
I can go down the list. So a lot of people may not realize this, but so I have a chronic pain disorder, fibromyalgia. I also have facet arthropathy, which is a form of arthritis of the spine, and bulging discs. That's just 3 of the few, but they are disabling in a sense where it's like there are times where I cannot get out of bed. There are times I cannot walk. Y'all see me dancing, and that dancing is like my sanctuary. There were times I couldn't dance, and I was the most saddest and depressed when I was in so much pain that I couldn't dance. So that means y'all see me when I'm up or I'm just fake it well. You're looking at me like, y'all would never know that my whole left hip is burning the fuck out of my back, like just going down my leg. But, you know, I'm trying to push through it because at the end of the day, life don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It just don't. So I try my best to push through, but I do require a lot of management and maintenance. Like it's a certain way I eat, I take certain supplements, it's certain things I don't do, and it's certain jobs I just cannot have because I'm like, if I go there, I'm not gonna be able to walk when I get off work.
So sitting down at a desk, like I work from home.
Yeah.
Right? I sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. You can't do that kind of job.
So sitting, if it's shift work, right? So if y'all want me a call center and I got to be there 8 to 5 1 hour, so I can't sit too long, but I also can't stand too long. So I have like a good 4-hour window before. Granted, I might be, and this is what people don't realize about disability. They look at it more so like, okay, you can do that. It's, can I do this and still have the same quality of life? So sure, I might be able to show up, but if I'm in pain for days and days after I do this, and I'm just suffering to do it, at a certain point, that's gonna pour over, right? So I can sit, but there was a time I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield, never forget it, and they fired me so nastily. So I'm having an issue where all I needed was a desk, a standing desk.
A standing desk.
But you got to go through paperwork. So I'm trying to get my paperwork from my doctor. They giving me a hard time, which is going to take weeks. I still got to show up, right?
Right.
So it hurt so bad sitting there all day that I could not sit down when I got off work. I had to stand up the whole entire time I was off work from about 5 to about 10 o'clock.
Right.
So then that make my legs hurt worse more now, right?
Right.
So every day we going through this. So now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stand up halfway to see if that helped. Nope. Now because I'm looking down, now my neck hurt. So I'm sitting up here having to sit at the computer. Now when I'm working from home at my laptop, now I've been found me a little good position, and I'm like, okay, I can get some work done as long as I can get me some breaks. Right? So this is why I'm at a place where I'm like, it has to be flexible and remote. Because if it's typical shift work, y'all niggas gonna be mad at me. Because stuff might get done, but I'm gonna be suffering. And if I'm suffering, you're gonna eventually feel that.
So listen, I gotta say this, right? I think at some point we gotta talk different, right? Especially when it comes to things that deal with the body and our ailments. We may have them, they may be there, but we can speak to them. Right, we can. I believe
that too.
We can speak to them.
I believe in that too.
And so I want to encourage you to speak to those things.
And I do, but I do want to say this too, and this is something where I feel like, in a sense, asking people to speak to it, it can be minimizing in a way, because there is a certain element where your words matter, right?
Right.
Your words matter, what you speak matter.
Right.
But also your experience is every day is different.
Every day is different.
Right. So you can speak healing, but also you can keep speaking it, but we have to acknowledge that they're very real things. There's multiple factors, right?
Yeah. Well,
you got your biological factors, your environmental factors, but then we also have these things like, for most people, a lot of pains is emotional, emotionally roots
driven
and spiritual roots.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Throw the hex on the whole family. Huh?
right. So you can speak to it, but also like it still can impact your life in a certain way. You know what I mean? And I'm at this for 14 years. I don't did all kind of prayers and all kind of things, and these things are still here. But I recognize it as illnesses and things, like there's a misalignment somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's trying to tell me something. It's not that I can.
You need to run from it or shut it or shut
right.
it. Right.
We need to listen to what it's trying to tell you.
What it's trying to tell you. Yeah.
Right.
I respect that. I respect it. I saw you online. You were talking about you about to go to Atlanta. What you about to do out there?
Yeah. So this is kind of like a part staycation, part networking.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
what you gonna bring to the ATL streets? Huh?
I'm gonna bring energy like I always do. I always bring good energy. And I'm also like, I'm out here trying to lock in and get me some schoolwork done.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna explore, you know what I mean? See if I can find some meetup groups. Go meet with some people who are in a position to put me in a place. And and a lot of people don't realize about networking. Part of networking is you have to serve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
how can you give? What can you give?
Right, because they don't know me.
Yeah.
They ain't got to open no doors to me. But if I
free.
can contribute to some conversations, if I can share some
value.
information, some resources, or hey, I can pull up and help you with this.
Yeah.
This is a foot in the door. You know what I mean?
Ridgeway, South Carolina in the building.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes. So, I'm going to be out there.
Now, I did see you offered to, I guess, we can give you merch. You can rock it. Talk to me about the offer you made. You were specific about what you want to do. Can you do that? Can you talk to people about that? There they go right there. To look at them. Tell them what you want. They right there too. Look at them.
So let me tell y'all something. every time I step out and go out of town, a photographer approaches me. Can I take pictures of you?
Yeah.
It never fails.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I already rock a lot of my artist merch as it is. I love artist merch.
Yeah.
I want to represent my hometown, my home state, because I'm from Ridgeway in Columbia.
Ridgeway, South Carolina.
I'm from Ridgeway, South Carolina, but
Heavy
I'm
on the
also,
line.
I grew up here in Columbia too. So I want to represent my state where I go, so somebody can be like, wow, that outfit is slamming.
Yeah.
You know, the way you wearing that, where you got that from? Oh, I got this from. You see what I'm going?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So and I'm also, a lot of people don't know that I was a model before I even got into all this media stuff.
Yeah.
And I say model that way because I am not trained, but I have done runway. I don't been in front of some cameras.
Right.
And I'm a naturally great model. So everywhere I go, and I'm getting a new haircut and some more color. So I'm gonna
Okay.
be fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want to rock some local stuff.
Okay.
You pay me $25. I will rock your stuff. I don't want to go buy clothes. You know how you go out of town, we go buy clothes. I don't want to buy no clothes to go out of town
Yeah.
from because I was gonna go to DD's Fashion.
Yeah.
I'm a bargain shopper. DD's or Ross. Instead of doing that, why not promote a local brand?
Yeah.
You pay me $25 and you're paying me because I'm a model, because if you went to a modeling agency, you're going to spend a band.
Yeah.
You're going to spend some bands because you got to pay the agency and that model. You only paying me $25.
Yeah.
And I'm also, I'm going to create some content surrounding it.
Okay.
So what I want is to have that whole week. I'm going for 15 days. I want 15 days worth of local brands, designs, all of that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Even if it's just a shirt that I can match with a cool pair of jeans or a whole outfit or a hat, whatever. So I want to promote my people when I'm out of town, because I'm gonna be outside. I'm not gonna be outside a whole lot, but when I am, I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I have I don't do a lot of structured activities every time I go on a trip. This time, the only structured thing I have is an Atlanta camping trip.
Yeah.
It's called ATL Camping Trip. And it's like a bunch of black artists that got together. They're going to have people performing out there in the woods. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Right.
like, if I might be out there for 4 days, then, there's a lot of people I can run into and network with and commune with. And I want to make a statement. You know what I'm saying? I want people to see that, Atlanta is Atlanta because of their infrastructure.
sure.
And when you really think about it, a lot of people from Atlanta, a lot of people are not from there. They come there and they make it shake. So I'm like, hey, I can show all this talent and beautiful art and creations that our people in South Carolina have.
Yeah. Talk about infrastructure, and just like, like I told you last time you was here, you support everybody, Cree. You pour out so much energy. Then you got 3 boys, right? Like, you got to be tired. Like, how do you replenish yourself? Like, you pouring out all the time. You're a mother, so by default you got to pour out.
Right.
Then-
and then we go back to the disabilities, right? Which, again, people don't see these things because I make it look like I'm not suffering because I'm
Right.
trying to be positive, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be. So a lot, I have a big. I ain't gonna say big, but I do have quite a self-care plan, and sometimes I do just allow myself to rest. I tell my kids, I love y'all, but y'all gonna be on your own today with the food. Do not bother me. Unless somebody's dying, like, I need to rest, I need to lay down. And there's times where I have to go spend time in nature. Like, I want to go put my feet in the grass,
So you-
spend time near water.
You ground.
Journal, make music.
Just
like,
walk in the grass, no shoes.
yeah.
Get that electric charge.
Yes, and I hula hoop. I like dancing, and that's where dancing comes in for me. Dance is my sanctuary. Sometimes I like to put on West African drums and just dance to it, and that's very cathartic. It's like there's a catharsis happening when I'm dancing to that music. And then I do yoga. I do yoga. Like,
Agree. I saw you arguing on the internet about that.
arguing.
Let's
Who's
talk
arguing about yoga?
Arguing about yoga is demonic. The devil. They be like,
Oh.
they saying that it's the devil.
These
Now
niggas.
listen. I want to give you some perspective on that, right? First thing is, everything is the devil, right? Everybody is the devil, and everything is the devil. If you ask people on the internet, right? And so
Everything's demonized,
right? Everything is demonized. Even going to church, even pastors, even Bishop T.D. Jakes is demonic out here. Like, whatever. Like, I think it's just important to know that if it works for you, if it adds value to your life and allows you to show up to be the best version of yourself, then if you love it, we gotta love. We need to love it, right? For you. Whether we participate in it or not, I think that bringing that perspective and that balance to the conversation is important. And I just love the way you take care of yourself. It's crazy how you take care of yourself. Because I got a whole wife, I got a son. I pour out, but then they fill me back up, right?
Right.
On top of what God is doing for me personally in my life, but I got other, He got extra backup fill ups for me, right? And so for somebody like you putting out the type of energy that you do, man, a lot of people don't, understand or see you in action, like every show, every spot, you know what I'm saying? Like you're giving out so much energy, and that's why I got you here. I appreciate the energy that you put out.
Thank you.
But let's talk about some practical things. You showed me, before we got on camera, you showed me a permit.
Yeah, let me put y'all on.
Show them, man. What? Put it in the camera so they can see what it is, right?
What I done did with it. Okay, so boom. This is what we're working at. Now,
Right.
I do not like the picture too much on there.
What is that? What is that?
So this is a busking license.
Okay.
So a lot
Busking?
Busking.
Buskin.
Yes, and in other states they might call it a peddler's license. So what this is you ever see those people performing on the street? They playing their guitar,
Yeah.
or they singing, or you got the DJ with their booth on the street, or Soda City Market.
Right.
That is what we call busking, and a lot of people don't realize that.
You can get
With-
you a bag doing that.
Yeah, like you can. Artists are always looking for ways to monetize.
Right.
And it's like, y'all can't count on that streaming. Why not get your busking license, perform on the street, collect tips? You know what I'm saying? Now you cannot sell goods when you're busking, but you can take donations.
Okay, so how does an artist acquire a busking license?
So you go down to what is this? 1339 Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same place you go get your business license from.
Okay.
Right. So they have
But wait a minute, talk about that, because people don't understand. There's a difference between having an LLC registered with the state and also having a business license.
Yeah.
Is that a difference? Are you talking about getting an LLC, or are you talking about?
Well, what I mean is this is all in the same office.
All in the same office.
The same office you would go and get your business license from.
Why would I need a business license?
It will.
If I'm an artist, why would I need a business license?
Now I don't have one for myself yet as an artist. So I may not be the best person for this, but when you do sign up have a business license, you can be able to get business funding.
Business funding.
So that's the main thing. You can get you a business credit line if you can. There's some intricacies there that I'm not the most knowledgeable on, but that would be a reason why artists would get a business license.
But the same place you can get that is where you can get this.
Right. So this is the city of Columbia, you know, and there's some fees, and it's only $15 a year. They do have like a daily rate, which is like $2 and $50 a day for 3 days, but you might as well just get the yearly license for $15.
And you can be in the city.
Right. You can be within the city limits. Now, I don't know. Now, outside of the city limits, I don't know. If the police don't shut you down, you good. I've seen people out there collecting tips in front of Walmart playing a guitar. But if you in the city limits, you can get out there. If you go to Soda City Market, you can see this in action. Go to Soda City Market on Saturdays downtown. You will see there's a lady that plays the violin. You got DJ Voodoo. I've seen a couple people, and I think that artists should get their license, collect some tips. In fact, write on there what your goal is. You know what I'm saying? Be vulnerable.
And be transparent.
Be transparent, and also, or you could just simply have your Cash App in a jar, play songs. If you got instruments, rappers, I really do feel like they're like those people who say there's not a market for the conscious or the positive rappers. I do firmly believe if you get your busking license and start performing on the street, you will get some fans.
And get some money.
Yeah, and get some money, because that's the thing, right? We're going to look at this twofold. We could collect tips, but we also hey man, we passing out our little flyer that got where you can find my music.
Yeah.
You feel me? And now people see you performing. So
and you really make an impact now because you're live, you performing live in the street.
Right. And you ain't got to beg nobody for no spot. You just can't be 50 feet away from another busker. And there are some intricacies. You can learn more if you go to One Columbia's website. If you put in busking, Busking, and One Columbia, they have a whole page dedicated to all those little rules and things you need to know about busking. But this right here, simple, $15 a year. Get it open, because we got to be creative and out of the box to create, ways to make money as artists. So my plan was I can rap, but I want to get my hula hoop. I love the hula hoop dance. So I would love to do this with other artists. Like, hey man, you play your sax or your guitar and I dance to it with my hula hoop. Or I can just get a speaker and dance to it.
Right.
I'm dancing. Hey man, let me get a tip.
Man, Creek, I love it. I called you one day and I was like, cause I was hearing that you was going off on the internet. You was going off on the internet. Can you tell us about what you was talking about? Can you just give me a...
Oh man, it's this thing. For years, there's been this debate about if artists should be paying to perform.
Right.
And there was a point where I tried to be open-minded to the fact that the industry is ever evolving. And I see that it works in some other states. Mm-hmm. But I have not seen any good that has came from it, at least not here. I can't speak for other states. I don't live there. But I haven't heard many great things from out of town either. But it's like this whole idea of, hey, you want to perform? I got performance slots. But you got to pay $50. You got to pay $100. You got to pay $15. I don't care what the price is. I feel like, I don't think this should become a standard in Columbia. I feel like we already are lacking in infrastructure. And I also feel like it attracts artists that are very transactional and artists that, they got money, but they don't have the talent. I know plenty of people who can rock the house and they don't have the money. And it's not even about whether they have the money or not. It's you have an event. You want me to be the entertainment and charge other people to get in. But so therefore people are here to come see me, right?
Right.
But then you want me to pay to be on the stage? That doesn't make sense to me. And then there's people who, we can put you on and da-da-da-da, like...
And we can do this and we can do that.
Yeah, it's all these false promises, but it always leads to telling artists that they're not working hard enough, they're not doing the right things. When the reality is here, a lot of people are not in a position to put you on. Your individual journey is on its own. But you can't sit here and try to feed these people false promises and tell them, I need you to pay me. I mean, you need to pay them. And I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah.
So you want me, the artist, to pay you for a chance on your stage.
Yeah.
I have never seen these things pan out and actually benefit artists. Like what it normally is everybody in the audience is the artist. While that may have some validity to it to a certain degree, because we do need to be in community with each other, but it's not leading to anywhere for artists. And again, transactional. You know what I mean? Like some artists, they'll come and perform and they leave. They don't talk to nobody after they leave. They're not trying to network. They just say, hey, I paid my money. And some people don't really have a lot of talent. They just got money to spend. And it's like, if we create that as a standard here in Columbia, they're never going to take us serious as a public. Because let's be for real, a lot of people support local because, there's people like me who support local regardless, right? There's some people who are like, man, we need to know where the events are. We need to see that they're talented. There's some people from the public who are not artists who are judging, saying, hey, artists are still performing over vocals. And this is my thing. Artists are at different stages of development. So I'm going to give artists grace always because before you can become a Beyonce, you might have got booed. You might have had an audience where nobody like you, but I'm not everybody. I'm not the public. The public is going to critique you. So when we have these events where artists have paid for their spot, they're not vetted either. So anybody can just pay money. And then now this becomes the public image of who's the talent in South Carolina. And I'm like, no, granted, some of them are talented. Some of them are basic. I'm not going to call no names because I don't even like talking about artists that I don't like.
Yeah.
I talk about the ones I love, but it's like they be basic, they sound like everybody else, and you're giving them more of a voice when really you need to be paying artists. Or if you don't have a budget to pay them, then you need to take care of them when they in your venues. Artists are bringing value. That's the whole entire event. Everybody exploits artists. Everybody use artists for they come up. Oh, we need more people in our restaurant. Okay, so who gonna get them there? The artists. So why would artists need to pay you when they're bringing value?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel really strongly about that, and it's so funny because I ain't gonna call no names, but I see they don't took the prices off their flyers now. They don't took the prices off the flyer. So my words is getting spread, and I don't care who got a problem with it. We can fight.
Okay.
Let me stop.
Yeah,
I'm just sarcastic. Y'all dramatic.
Listen.
I don't really mean I'm a fight, but nah, I stand on this.
I respect it. And you know, just tell us, Cree, before we wrap this up, tell us what you want us to know. The people that's watching this right now, what do you want us to know?
What I want people to know. So I want people to know that when you support people like me, you support the whole South Carolina, right? I'll never forget, Jew was like, Cree, you like the nucleus to all of this. Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, wow, because I am a connector, right? And what I'm trying to do is build a creative agency that embodies events, media, marketing, artist development. So when you put a bag in my hand or you support what I'm doing, you're supporting the artist. Art matters.
Yeah.
South Carolina artists matters.
Yeah.
We influence the world, but we do not get our credit.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's time for everybody to understand the value of artists and, you know what I'm saying, support those who are on that wave, because the artists are telling the stories of the times. The artists are reflecting back the beauty and the ugly of what's going on in the world. We need artists. So by supporting me, you're supporting them. But I also want your support too, because I don't gave a lot out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I deserve to be fed as well. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So what can we do immediately? What do you want us to do immediately right now to support you?
Immediately right now, you can take me up on some of these deals, such as, hey, I model your stuff when I'm in Atlanta for $25.
Yeah.
I will create content with your outfit. Even if I decide that day I ain't gonna go nowhere today, I'm gonna create some content around it. $25. Yeah. You can also support me by booking strategy sessions, or what we call, your pick your brain sessions. If you need to know anything about navigating the South Carolina music scene, whether that's you need help with your marketing rollout, you need education, you need promotion, you need help with your event, book me for those services. You need a lead girl to be in your video, you need a dancer, you need a choreographer, you need, a creative director, book me for those services. And if you don't want to do that, fine. If you don't have a need for that, you can sow a seed so that when I go to Atlanta, I'm taken care of, because everywhere I go, the South Carolina is on my back. So you can sow a seed, you can make a donation, $5, $10, however much.
Where can we sow at?
So we can sow at Cree Does It All on Cash App.
Cree Does It All.
Or you can meet me in person. I'll take the cash too.
DM.
Yeah. DM me. I will get up. We will link up.
No doubt. Peace to Grace family. It's Darius Dior. It's Think Kingdom Media. It's Cree the Creative. We out.